Howdy, folks. Nick Tackert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. Yes, I am running late. Woo! Sometimes, friends, colleagues, countrymen, it gets a little bit crazy. And boy, howdy, has it gotten crazy tonight. Yes, this is... I'm going to hit the share buttons on this. Believe it or not, I just got done washing my hands. I've spent the last many hours actually out building the new list field. We were out, my brother came over, my wife was out there helping me. Rain coming down, wind going down. Wow. 30-mile-an-hour wind gust trying to get a yard fabric going down with groundhogs looking at you funny. It has been one of those days. Well, you know, if I'm coming in late, everything's coming off. Everything. Wow, guys, I know I am just hopping and popping, but I get so passionate about fixing things and making things and trying to get things right, despite the odd physical limitation, that I have a bad habit of walking right up to the wall. We are joined in the chat by Cindy Kep and Johnny Cage. I'm sending out the share links. Whoo. Oh, go. It's been challenging. See, tomorrow is a very, very special day in that we have the first in a long time. We had one practice in 2021 in August. And before that, all of 2020, most of 2019 was all messed up. Hi, John Miner. Great to see you in the chat. Everything was going absolute gonzo berserk. And tomorrow is going to be the first practice. And I'm trying to get my list field set up and my house set up. And I've been varying vast quantities of mulch. So we'll go through the chats before we get anything else going on. Cindy Kep, greetings and salutations. Folks, I love Cindy Kep. She's one of my favorite people on earth. She's an amazing writer. She's an amazing creator. Somebody who really understands the nuts and bolts of games to make a game-lit universe that's intriguing. So follow her at www.ckoepp.com. My man Johnny Cage is coming through the door. Yesterday, I was running a game for 14-year-olds, Johnny. And I think as one of them, they're running through a version of Ravencleft Gorge. And one of them wants to be a vampire. Like from the get-go, is ready to sacrifice his whole squad to do it. This is going to be amusing. Things are just... wow. So yes, I'm glad. Oh, yep, that's crazy enough. Wee donkeys. Hello all. Yes, hello, John. But Thesis, you're on your way home. Wonderful. I'm on my way through the door. We're going to make it work, folks. And hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, I have to try to get my studio passable. I have at least one sword I have to modify before 8 o'clock, before 2 o'clock tomorrow. And I get to go back to the hardware store for another 10 plus bags of mulch. Probably by my lonesome. So much for taking it easy before the practice to be, functional. Johnny said, good kid, kill him. Yeah, if that's the way they want to roll, we will make that happen. I like to keep it a little Halloween-y in here, even if it's whatever bloody month this is. But yes, we have a lot to go on, a lot to talk about, and I'm going to keep it kind of topical on what's knocking around in my mind as I've been hauling. I don't know how much 20 bags of mulch weighs, but when they're wet, that's a lot. And I have pictures of my brother, Ricky Tackert, who you should see in some videos from tomorrow night once I get them shot. And in the future, showing up. We don't have a big outcome. We know Ricky's coming. We know Jim. Holy smokes! It is Johnny. I didn't know it was your birthday. I would have done you some custom art. Okay, well, I will float that down the pipe a little bit, and you'll get a late birthday present. Happy birthday to Johnny Cage. I hope may the victims be easy and the blood flow free, my dear. You are one of my favorite vampires, Johnny. Johnson, kill them all, take no names. Yeah, that's basically the idea. I have I have rigs and piles and poles. I'm more surrounded now than usual. And it's funny because I came in, my brother just left like minutes ago. I flopped on the couch. Okay, I'm gonna sit. Maybe we'll eat something, and my wife goes, "What time is it?" Like, what? It's 8 o'clock, and there's running and screaming and all manner of insanity. So, yes, we're gonna talk about some stuff I've picked up doing setting up list fields in the past. And we're going to talk about something that's really hard for somebody like me. Delegation. Oh, John just had his second knee surgery on Wednesday. That is so rough, John. I hope you're feeling better. And we'll get you out here real soon to harass people. But I am excited. It took some doing, and I had to give Stephanie and John won't make it because they just got to bring home their baby, who's been in the NICU since it was born. So I'm like, no, you stay home. Get used to being parents. There'll be other practices. John, obviously, I won't bug you about coming out because you need to heal up. Well, I was going to keep this a secret, but I have a slightly chubby Hawaiian trench coat wearing fencing ace on my table that I'm going to finish once I'm done vaccinating her. Oh, that's so cool. I've seen Johnny's art. That's so cool. Anyway, sorry, Wes. Yes. I can't wait to see that. And yes, awesome stuff will be coming your way just once I get through the next about 48 hours or so, so I can get my brain to depercolate. But yes, also all sorts of stuff. John, if you want to come out and you're feeling froggy, you know where I am. Practice starts at 2 my time. We're expecting right now, like I said, Ricky. We're expecting James Robertson, Jim. You guys look through the old videos. He may not be doing much because of his physical issues, but that's fine because just having him out is a huge boon, and I can get him the tools that he left over here like 3 years ago. Because I really, I respect Jim. I respect what he's about. Obviously, Steve's still in Texas. So he won't be coming out. Steph and Trelena is helping make the roads between Indiana and Illinois actually able to be driven on safely. So she and Joey can't come out, which really stinks, but that's okay. I think that's what I'm thinking about. It's gonna be great just to have anybody. Oh, and we may narrowest margin be visited by the incredible Brian K. Morris and his lovely wife, Cookie Morris, who obviously won't likely be sword fighting, but even if they're just watching me and Ricky go through the motions, I think he'll have a good time. And I may just start looking for some more local fighters to train and recruit. Turn to the dark side. But we'll see. We're just building back up slowly, but better. And I'm trying to, this is my house. I'm not renting it. I'm not borrowing it. I'm not in somebody else's yard. I'm in my house doing what I love. So I'm going to make dang sure that I have the facilities to do it. And it's going to take me time, and it's already fairly costly just in the initial outlay. But folks, it's going to be worth it if I can get folks out there and have a safer, more quality experience for my fighters, a safer, more quality experience for the viewers, and just that we can get this ball rolling. And I am just tickled pink. Well, can teach, but can't. Can teach, but I assume can't move well. Well, John, if like I said, you know where I am. You know when it is. I think there will be parking, and you're more than welcome just to come socialize a little bit. Like I said, it's going to be a small one this time, and we are still like crawling. John, I understand. We need to get you another oversized keyboard, John. It looks like you're fighting the buttons. But John's hands are bigger than my two fists put together. That's one of John's fists. We've done it side by side. And normal size keys and big meat hooks don't necessarily get along. So never look bad on our poor friend John typing. Now, normally I have all my plugs. I'm very professional about how I do things. But today is not a normal day, friends. Today is the day where I entertain you and I let my brain just sort of leak out my ears a little bit while I figure out how I'm going to get the rest of the setup done, since it looks like I'm going to be getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning to head down and get the stuff to get back. I have to double check some things. But it's important. And why is it so important? I mean, I could just be like, I have some friends over, we'll work it out. Because I want to build a quality environment. Understood, John. You just had surgery. No one can fault you for being just a touch loopy, my friend. So it's probably better if you just rest, keep that knee up. Okay? There will be other events and things. And as we get things set up, it'll be even more. Hey, Frog G just hopped into the chat. Frog, put the link to your amazing comic book in. Thesis says, knee surgery is rough, John. I had total hip replacement 3 weeks ago tomorrow night. Yeah, guys, this has been a rough run on the guild. You know, a lot of good people are taking pretty hard hits. I'm worried for you, folks. I love you dearly. I am worried. I also don't have anything to drink to get through this video. Oh, well. If I get too scratchy, we'll figure it out. But when you're building a list field, we need to talk about that. And whenever I need to talk about something related to what I do, I have to knock an entire pile of books because I'm reorganizing my study. So all my books, doink, are on one of two Doombecks that are right next to me. Doombeck is a type of hand drum. John Miner got me drumming into those, and of course, my lovely wife. But we open up the simple sword. Well, I'm glad you are in one piece, darling. It's quite a assembly of parts, not to overstate. Whoa, wait, we got a comment? What's this? Where you will soon get to help a writer figure out how to defend and attack a walled city with issues. Oh, darling. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not siege tactics. I am so ecstatic to think about siege tactics. And I'm sorry if I was a little choppy. I was trying to get where I could do my sharing. And basically, I am just all over the place tonight. It's kind of funny, but you guys seem to appreciate it. So I'm not going to, even I have the rough one. Okay. Well, let me see if I can do something about that. Now, I will warn you, my computer is trying desperately to get me to upgrade to Windows 11, which is not something I would want to do when I'm planning to do streaming. But we go here. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I know. That tune runs through my head. Get that. Boom. Share. Copy link. There we go. Okay, let's just do this. Boink. There is a link with a bunch of numbers, and that is the historical. So you look up Historical Fencing Guild public group. You'll see this little icon here, and that will let you know that you're on the right one, and you can get in and know more about what's going on ahead of time. If you really want the gritty, gory details, you want to join the Historical Fencing Guild Patreon, which, how out of it am I today? I didn't even have my Patreon thing. So now I feel I've got my ticker going. My name is on screen. The universe, only 16 minutes in to this bout of insanity, is coming back together. Now, well, that is not the button I want. There we are. So let me come back here. And Foxy says, don't forget the liking and the things. That's right, folks. If you enjoy odd, usually weapons martial arts content, hit the like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to build something cool here. And what's great is with what I am building being a nice outdoor place, I want to eventually set up permanent tables and camera mounts so I can get a good place to mount my old cell phone as a camera. We can have somebody else operate my new cell phone. That means fights from multiple angles. Eventually, I would love to get where I could actually live stream from outside, ringside, and take questions and be able to say, so we're talking about this, and work through with a partner, probably Ricky, and start showing the techniques that I teach. Now, yes, you will see a short, fat, furry little man teaching swordplay, but folks, I don't claim to be anything else, and it should be available for everybody. All right, now, Foxy and I have a small request for videos. Maybe you could do short vids on the drills that can be done from a sitting position. Perfect. In fact, I will get into that once I catch up with the comments, because that's wonderful material. I think. Let me see. If I do this and I do that, and I get rid of the text, yes, I'll be able to do that in just a few moments, and then we can do some more stuff. And YouTube, the first post where I told people to join the Historical Fencing Guild. Thank you. We will make it work. I don't know why. YouTube's being a little testy. Part of the problem is because I talk about weapons and I talk about historical training and tactics and things, whenever there's a major political event or tragedy in this case, YouTube tends to clamp down on me, not really getting what my channel is about. It is the forces of the algorithm, which is why it's so important for you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Let's see. Frog G says, how much of the city do you want to survive? Asking for reasons. John says, walled cities take artillery, Cindy, and good militia with siege. Most of it actually, but it already has issues. Insurgents also help. I love how everyone is leaning towards the annihilation of the city without finding out what the sides are. Oh, gosh. Okay. And then there's, oh, cool. I just got a delightful, what they call a comic dump. Comment dump. A comic dump is when you throw away a bunch of old mainstream comics or you sell them so you can get money to buy independent comics from any number of creators, such as Luke Stone at LukeStoneStudios.com or Cindy Kep, or Frog G, Voodoo Magic and Gods. Really neat title. I'm horrible with the names of things, including comics I love. But look up Frog G. Look up Johnny Cage. There's so many awesome creators I know that it is really a privilege to get and talk about them. But yes, spend your money where it'll be appreciated. All right. The background is detailed, so I'll have to put it in the guild where I can type more than 200 characters at a time. Delightful. This will be a wonderful, rousing discussion. And maybe we can do a breakdown with the Patreon members too. I know there's some good tacticians there. Kind of depends on what army you have trying to break the siege and what they have available. Frog G says, tickle the algorithm, smash the like, dingle the bells, and subscribe. Foxy says, so I learned a thing. Feet like my new shoes enough that they're seriously complaining that I did not wear them enough today. As somebody who has difficulty in joint and foot problems, shockingly, I'm actually very persnickety about what I can wear, and I'm going to have to go up because I have for years worn the New Balance with the roll bar. They were recommended by Dr. Frederick Fedorchik, my podiatrist up in Portage, Indiana, Dr. Sir Frederick Fedorchik. But New Balance, who used to be entirely American-made, shipped some of their production to China. I'm not happy with this, but that means I'm certainly not comfortable ordering the new version of the old shoes until I've gone and put them on and really gotten a feel. So I fully get that. Foxy says, Frog G props for making those all sound pervy. And skipping briefly ahead, I'd say it took some work at Foxy. Now, Cindy says, thesis, yeah, this is why I need to give you all the premise. This is at the end of the book. I can't wait because, folks, I've worked with a lot of people over the years where, they've come to me for free advice, and it's seldom cheap. And Cindy, when she wanted to talk about a fight scene and fight choreography, gave me the most detailed, clear, laid out, beautiful choreography I have ever seen as a backup for the novel. This woman is truly gifted and staggeringly intelligent, and it is a pleasure to see that. I can't wait to see what she has to say about a siege problem. This is delightful. Johnny says, okay, whoop. And there it goes, another comment dump. Ha, I caught it though. Got a little behind on streaming, so I'm catching up. Gotta say, 2x speed, Nick, is a delight. Well, I try to go as fast as possible whenever possible because I know it really helps people get the message across and let the sink in and process. We'll see how that goes once it hits that part. But you managed it marvelously. Yes, we do. I know you're talking to Frog G, but I couldn't help it. I'm hoping soon to be doing some standing drills, but for now I'm relegated to sitting in a chair and my arms are screaming for me to do something. About the half hour, if I have space, I will break off and I'll give you a quick walkthrough because I set my system up to be able where all your blade work can be done from a sitting position because I have to sit all the time. Johnny, nah, man, the city probably had it coming. Whoop. Okay, then I know what she's talking about. This is awesome. John Miner, yes, both sides have cannons and griffins. The defenders also have two mangonels. I even said that right. I am rather happy. At Johnny Cage, I hope not. And I need the protagonist to survive. Foxy says, whoa. Okay, here we go. There we go again. Today, kiddo, we wanted to play gymnastics all day, and I'm the only adult in semi one piece. I hurt, LOL. Get yourself a nice hot bath, some bubbles, light a candle, and relax, dearie. You've earned it. Cindy says, at Foxy, shoes that fit are fantastic. Foxy says, I found a pair of Saucony shoes at thrift store for $5, and they have a lot of ankle support. That's amazing. John Meyer says, if the city is encircled and the exodus is contained, the city must fall if not fully prepared, and just a matter of time if aggressors are equipped for long siege. Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm glad you're getting better. Point control parry drills are an option. I used to tell my students that if I talk fast, they need to ask me to slow down. I came from up north where if I don't talk fast enough, my lips will freeze. Yeah. I come from a land down under. No, I don't. I come from a land down under Lake Michigan, but who lives in a bottle under the sea? No. And I learned to speak quickly when necessary because that was the only way to freestyle, especially around several speech impediments. He's doing really well. Thanks, Cindy. I'm getting better every day, and I can even take a few steps without the cane as long as I go slow. You'll get there. They are higher-end running shoes, apparently. Yes, they are. They're very nice. I'm still a big fan of New Balances for foot problems, but if you have foot problems, it is totally worth it to see a good podiatrist because your feet are the foundation of everything. Just like when we're talking about sword fighting, your stance is where we start. Before you even move, you need to make sure your stance is right. Holy text-to-speech, Batman, that was fast. Well, I try. $80+ normally. I spent $5. New Balance, the arch hits me in the wrong spot. Same with Nike. I can understand that. I actually have to wear medical orthotics with a lift on one side because one leg is shorter than the other. But, so I fully get that. Now, we're close enough. I'm going to take a second. So if anybody who messages, I'm keeping Foxy's last comment. I can't do that. It would stay on screen. So we're going to talk. When I talk basic drills, I have to adjust the camera so it works from where I am. I will need a sword. Let me see. How does this show up? Not bad. Now, when I talk, and this will be a very forward stretched, just because to keep in frame, I will have to keep relatively tight on my grouping. So, and you can revisit this. We're at the 28, about the 29-minute mark. First position. Okay, now we're going to be way back. I'm in my chair. Whenever you're drilling, keep your offhand up. Whenever you're doing anything, keep your offhand up and in your range of vision. See, it's sort of up, but I can barely see it. And I can see it because I have crazy peripheral. But up, range of vision. This way, your mind registers that this is an equipable item. This is something that can be used. If it's over here, I can't see it. I won't use it. All right. First position, your nails are out. Well, that got that out of my way. You want a smooth motion. Up, and you're going to come down in an arc. This is very uncomfortable, but you need to learn it because when you need it, you do. You need it. Now, from the linear guards, the first 4 positions, you need to understand coming out of second And fourth, because these are response guards. What do I mean? These are where you will riposte. So if I arm you, it's been a while since I've armed you guys. Let's see if I can still do this. If you've got your sword and you're trying to stab me, okay, POV, you've killed me. Great. I like to let you guys kill me a few times. I am in third position. Third position is this. Now you can extrapolate where the blades come. Get that out of your way. Okay, this is the standard when you're holding a sword. But I'll rotate to fourth if it's parrying to my outside of my center line. Remember my center line? Parry to fourth and go. So you're going to want to practice parry and go. And you can do this. This is part of your point control. This is part of making the weapon work. This is a little long, so I'm going to switch to something shorter just because I want it to show up. And I've actually, in anticipation of this problem, I was working on this. This is a cold steel training knife. It is wrapped with white electrical tape to make it much more obvious what's where. Edge alignment and all. I will get to your comments in a bit, okay? Same idea, okay? First, second, third, fourth. You should always line up the catch, okay? Where the pommel, where the guard meets the blade with just a little bit beyond the edge of your silhouette. And since I'm a chunky monkey, that's a lot of silhouette, but okay, and then come in. So what you're going to very simply is here and here, here and here. This should become beyond innate nature. Sword goes by, make you die. Sword goes by, make you die. Fourth, same idea. Okay? These are your basic guards. Now, with fifth, and you can train with anything. You don't look. I mean, I've got handy dandy sword simulating object right here. Ooh, I'm training with it. Don't get caught up in the gear. Okay? Whoa. Well, I'm going to get, just for a second, why Foxy needs a Tomox box. I'll look for them. Skechers are really nice shoes, but they don't last very long. Look up the Terry Pratchett boot theory. Now we'll get into this. Yeah, that's one of the things I don't like about European rapier training. Your offhand was held at your hip or behind your head. I like both my arms being inside. I don't train duelists. I don't train I train people who are going to survive a fight. You can make it pretty. You can duel. You certainly can be honorable, but don't be stupid. Bam. Now, the reason that especially later period, that this hand was taken off was they were fighting with light weapons, either late period rapiers or messier kind of sabers, which once you start getting choppy, it can get dicey. Wow, that wasn't intended, but it can be. Or small swords, and they were dueling to first blood. Okay? The vast majority of duels toward the end were not, I'm going to kill you for sliding me. The victor of the duel is the first person to draw blood from the other person. And as a devout arm sniper, having a hand out there that I can parry the blade, flick, maybe get this right here cut. I'm not trying to flick you guys off, but quick. And it cuts here. They're bleeding. I win. I go home alive, and my honor's been sated. So, that's that. But practically, once you get brawling, it's a whole different department. And I'm a double weapon. I'm a 2-weapon fighter. I love having something in this hand. If not, I'm going to put something of theirs in this hand. It's too valuable to completely put it away unless I have a very good reason. Now, if I'm doing this, I'm buying time to, draw something and shoot. I've used Nerf guns on the field at points to prove a point. I will probably again. But, so what one drill you wanted to start is just practice. You're just catching an invisible sword and going. build that muscle memory. It's very European. It's very simple. You're going to do this a lot. Another one you can do is a figure eight. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me see if I can. I'm going to hyper narrow the style so you can see it. 5, 6. So you see where the blade is? Okay, cool. 7, 8. These are very short. This is not knife drills. Yes, I'm using a knife. Yes, you can use it that way, but these aren't necessarily knife drills. But when you're sitting, you need something that won't bang the floor. So you need to make sure. See, boom. 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have this habit of closing my middle road from it brings out the Jin fighter in me. It brings out the Taoist just a bit. Tao fighter, not Tao philosopher. But that's one set you're going to find that works really well. Do your guards. Another set, and we need to talk about advanced guards. So we've got 2 weapons here. And you know what? I am going to switch simply to this because this is going to show up a little better. This is called a linked parry. Parry stab. Parry stab. Parry stab. Parry stab. You just pivot. Boom. Boom. So if I'm catching something with this hand's following to take a piece of that arm. Because if they're extended, parry, take the arm, rotate, flip, and take their face. You can just open it up, but when you do, if I do this, my middle road is still closed. I still have lots of defense. If I go here, do you see the big gaping opening, guys? So if I swing out, catch, I'm going to arm you again, and I'm going to make it easy on myself. Let me get a little closer. This might work. Nope, that won't work. I need to get probably a shorter stabby, which I have right over here. 1 second. I'm totally not using one sword to grab another. Cool. All right, you don't need to see my hands. Boom. I am using a thumb parry style grip on this for the windshield wiper because that's how you use this weapon. This is a main gouge. It's a cold steel parry dagger I have rigged with a bit of HDPE to make it into a main gouge. But if I catch, that's going right there. Catch, arm, because I'm still open. If I go straight for the opening, there's a beat where my middle road just gets real big. So if they come around, I'm already past, and you're going to get double. But if I'm here, they start to come around, I can cut down, stop their arm, and then cross back over. Just fine. I'm not wide open. Not nearly as much as this. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is what I would consider very simple but moderately advanced. So if a shot comes at the shoulder, I parry it out. I take the hand or arm. Anybody who's fenced me, especially who's a lot taller than me, John Miner, they get the marks all right in here. Because that's the piece they give me that I don't have to endanger myself as much to take. To get through the arms to the good, juicy middle beat, I have to really get in there. And that means committing myself to an action, maybe more than I want to. But keeping this very simple. And one thing I like about this as a drill and as a block kind of system is it's very, very, it's got that, it's big body motions because, pivot. Look, I'm not even, my hips, I don't need my hips. I have my rolly chair. Boop. Sword comes in. Nope. I've now gotten out of the way, and in the wide motion of this, I'm bringing myself out of the path. So I've incorporated a void into my parry. Boom. I'm now gaining as opposed to either go straight in or go here. Now, if I go here, boom, I have this as a guard. Hey, I can do a lot of blocking from this position. So I would say start with that. Hang yourself a tennis ball. Do your point control drills. Take the time. Do it with both hands. Try different weapons. Slow, steady motions. Parry in, parry out. Boom, boom. It's all about building the comfort. You don't have to go fast. Fast is for the young and the healthy, and very rarely do the young and the healthy come through me. Whew. Let's look at some of the commentary that that I missed while I was doing that. I hope it's useful. Let's see. I'll look for them. Rapier. Okay, cool. They'll either be at sports stores or try Amazon. The ones I have are called the Guide. Excellent. They kind of force your foot to walk right. That's cool. Which my ankles tend to roll a lot. They stop that. Getting something with the equivalent of a roll bar or good ankle support is important. That is literally building the foundation of how you fight. This is very necessary equipment. Let's see, which is funny because my profile picture, I have my offhand above my hand, but I can see it in the peripherals. Exactly. It would be the first time today I've been flipped off. Cindy's like, that won't bang the floor or the ceiling fan. Yes, apparently, guys, shockingly, if you are relatively new, wielding a war scythe trainer in your study tends to launch a battle against your ceiling fan. It's very chaotic, and I do err into that field sometimes. I mean, you can't tell, but my horizon line is just dotted with giant super turbines, which are modern windmills anyway. He's being silly. We'll have to be more specific than that because a lot of us are silly. I wonder if I could modify the 4-point block from Wing Chun to sword. I need to think about it. That sounds really familiar back in the old days of me playing with Sword's Edge. I think it would. Most Chinese arts mix well with weaponry. That's why butterfly knives and Wing Chun, this is a lot more intimidating, for lack of a better word, when there's an axe or a knife in hand with that sort of buzzsaw motion. Probably, love, and we could do push hands if I put a chair in front of yours. Exactly. Hey, look, I'm Chad. Backdraw. No, greetings, I'm Chad. No, anyway. If you didn't hate being on camera so much, I would film a short video for the guild page showing the 4-point block because from what I've seen, most people don't know it. They know 3, but not 4. Foxy says, I could wear a mask or something? Meh, I suppose I could let you. You are a lovely woman, Foxy. I've seen you. You have no reason to be ashamed of your appearance. That is not to pressure you. I totally want you to be comfortable in everything you do. But do not in any way, shape, or form feel hesitant to not, to show yourself because you're a lovely person. Boink. I could tie a tennis ball on a string and fish for theses. Wow. I was an English major in an early incarnation of my life, and fishing for theses is real familiar. John Miner says, I have gray hair for a reason. My wrists and arms are not clay. Can't swing a broadsword when you're in the forest. Yes, John is quoting many a Moonwolf wisdom. Moonwolf referring to this by his mundane name of Michael Longcore, folk and filk singer to the stars out of Lafayette, Indiana. He's fairly local to me, although I don't play in his club anymore, and that's a bit of a tragedy. Okay. Cindy. Cindy, with her classic self-depreciating style, practicing Tai Chi fan stuff. I've developed some new moves. Trip over the rug edge, catch the ponytail, and smack the ceiling fan. Or ceiling if I'm in the basement. Oh, Cindy. Oh, that, friends, is always the challenge of doing what we do indoors. And that's why I was writing like, whoa. Don't forget the ever popular tripping over yourself, Cindy, or tripping over nothing. Tripping over the painted line on something, and tripping over your opponent. Cindy, just wait till you master the smacking your knee with the fan, hitting yourself in the head with the thrown fan, and flailing your arms when your golden rooster fails you. Oh, yes. Yes, I do that one too. Gravity, always keeping me down. Gravity, quit. Gravity needs to quit bullying my friend, Frog G. Frog doesn't deserve to be held down or limited by anything. I believe Frog should be able to leap from lily pad to lily pad, unencumbered, unlimited, unaccosted by the cruel force of unyielding gravity. I'm in a mood. I know I'm such a jerk. Ooh, I've already managed to do cut your arm with the broken fan. That is a special one. I have done that. I have cut my arm with the blunt trainer that has a little plastic spur. I knew John was going to say this. Step on opponent foot and plant in place. Yes, John. When you're a giant and you can do that. Imagine if I went over and tried to pull that shenanigan with you. You'd lift your foot and I'd go, and Team Rocket is blasting off again. Ding. No. Golden Rooster stands on one leg unless you have a dog who wants to help your stances. Then Golden Rooster lands on butt. Oh, God. Yikes. That's why I teach the secret art of the Golden Fiddler crab, which is a sword and dagger approach based on the movements of the fiddler crab and one of my old instructors. But wow, this has gone really fast. Yes, now we're going to take a second and talk about what am I doing? Well, the list field now is roughly the same size. It has edging all the way around it. It has landscape fabric down, and currently 20 bags of mulch that have been placed, sliced, and spread out of it. And it needs between 10 and 20 more, at least. And what we're going to do is build that up, probably add more. This is to hopefully kill the grass under it and make things work so that we have a much more even. Okay, I'm loving these new foods. Drunken fencing. Drunken fencing is an art form. Ironically, the totally sober guy that I am invented it, and it got, slightly cabbaged by others. But that's okay. Because if you're going to do it, you have to do it right. And that's a matter of erratic movements based around the limp looseness of someone who isn't in fully in body control. It is something, when my joints allow, I can still perform. But we'll have to see. Oh, geez. Many years ago, I had a bladed fan, basically a regular fan with sharpened metal triangles riveted on the ends. I did not do much training with her. She sat on a shelf and looked pretty. Dangerous toys are fun till somebody gets hurt. Learned the newest one. I mastered whack chair while turning. Oh, whack foo is one of my favorite. Mark up ceiling whilst turning. Or hand stops working and staff goes propellering across the room. Yes, these are the secret martial arts of students. Esteemed students. Foxy giggles. Yeah, well, we got to keep it fun. We got to keep it light. Guys, I'm hoping that the effort, and I want to thank you, because almost everybody on this list is a Patreon supporter, or in the case of like John, a corporate supporter. And I really, really appreciate it, because the outlay to do the list field already has been a major. For me, it's been a fairly large financial outlay, because I'm redoing a bunch of the polls. I mean, we're getting into a couple $100 already into getting that functional. And I'm going to be doing some other things. I'm hoping to set up do some repair and set up the throwing target, if that's still intact. If not, I will be replacing it, and we can do thrown weapons again. I miss that dearly. Oh, wait, let's see. We've got some great comments. I am a master of whack knee on desk when trying to get up. Foxy says, yes, you are, Thesis. Trying it outside at work in a field near the building. I learned, discover chuck hole hiding in grass. Oh, that is my wife's favorite secret martial art move. That's part of why I'm building the list field up. Chuck holes have ended more martial arts careers than I think other martial artists have. John says, nunchaku to the back of owner's head. That's why I don't use them, John. Flail weapons and I have an understanding. They don't mess with me, and I don't mess with them. I moved to the unused part of the parking lot. Yes. Cringe. No, chuck holes are part of why my wife walks a little funny sometimes. But yes, guys, this is exciting, because look at, to have these kind of injuries, these are the things you acquire while you are training. These are the mistakes you make while learning. And while all of us poke fun at it and laugh a little bit, I want to point out, it means you're drilling. It means you're trying. Okay? And it is very easy to sit on the couch, watch a kung fu movie or a pirate movie, and think, I could do that, and then never try. Never learn it, never learn to respect the amount of effort it has. When somebody goofs up and makes a mistake during training, it's an option to learn. And that's a glorious, glorious option to have. We really all need that, the freedom to make mistakes. Now, no, I don't want you hurt. And it is different to make a mistake that's an ouchie and make a mistake that's debilitating. But we learn from these things. Thesis says, at least I haven't done the scrape sword tip against the ceiling move in a while, Foxy. Very true. Yes, guys, despite the great Australian Chads, many, many references, the longsword isn't the solution for every problem. And encumbrance is a thing. Oh, John, side to the back of the thigh as you try to parry. Punk. Ooh. 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 Just. Ugh. Yeah. Cindy says it right. Oh. Woo. Woo. Okay. Wow, this has been a crazy show. We are just hopping and popping, folks. Scooting and looting, and I've got no complaints. But like I said, Thesis says, I've been watching a Chinese drama every evening, and there's something in it that I have to watch it with either a sword in my hand or nearby. It makes me want to drill and train. Then drill and train! If you are motivated, driven, attracted to go the way of the sword, pick up a trainer. Find one that fits. Learn and do and train. Get good with it. Test yourself against others. Stress testing is so important. There are millions of martial artists who have never sparred. This makes me unhappy. Because if you've never safely tested yourself, you believe you have a set of skills that might be false. Because it's untested. That's like buying a firearm and expecting it, ownership of it to make you into someone who can hit a target. Simply buying a sword will not make you a swordsman. You must drill. My brother once, when younger, played with my long dagger, and I had told him not to touch. Well, he stabbed himself in the thigh. Did he die? I'm going to take that as a no. Did he learn? Pain is a wonderful instructor. He came limping to my dad saying, "Would you be mad if I did something stupid?" Dad just hung his head like, "Oh no, what now?" That's all you can do as a father. Like, there's a point where if they know it's stupid, you help bandage them up or take them to the doctor and accept that that's a life lesson that hopefully will teach them something. Oh, John, you know I love your dragon's eye. Don't ever think I don't, but I'm going to when it comes to the side to the back of the thigh. That's just unpleasant. Wow. We are nearly an hour in because I basically talked real fast to make up time. But I am planning to have hopefully some video from tomorrow. I need to get a nice pair of sai for my collection. They're wonderful things. I have a sai. I don't know if I have two. I know I have one. A lot of my gear in the past has walked, so I'm never 1,000% sure. But, get a trainer version and train with it, and they're wonderful things. And no, I never really learned better. Don't sai come in threes? I thought they came in pairs. Although many places you only purchase them one at a time, but threes? I'm not sure. Anyhow, I have the trainer. It's on the wall over there. Well, it's on a curtain hook next to 2 fencing masks, some pool noodles, a plastron homemade gorget, and my new fencing jacket that I have to see how it fits with my sort of weight fluctuations. And yes, most sai I've seen through. First one to throw from a distance and 2 more. I've never really seen throwing sais all that much, but that might be a ninjutsu thing. And I've only fought ninjas. I've not trained with them. And I'm calling them ninjas by their own dedications. I've heard that before when researching sai vs. Rapier last year. I found something about them coming in threes. But I don't remember if that's a myth that's very popular or if it's authentic or if it's one of those things that if it's not true, it should be. Because the balance of a sai makes it really lousy for throwing. I mean, you can do it, but it's going to tumble in a very axe-like manner because of the weight distribution. I mean, I think if you're going to throw something, you'd be better with like the a throwing spike. There's a Japanese term for the heavy throwing spikes. I can't remember it offhand, but it's worth looking into. And like I said, if somebody, one of my regrets of my injuries that I didn't get a chance to try my hand at axe throwing. We've got a place in town that had a target set up and was doing free demos. Axe throwing is becoming increasingly. May have 3 points. I don't know. I've heard the story that Cindy's talking about because I talked with her about it during because that was part of the Cyverse rapier scene was something we were talking about. That's actually part of what was the fight choreography. Really interesting piece, if I recall right. But axe throwing is becoming very, very popular as a pastime. The Viking kind of thing came into vogue recently, and I mean, I love throwing axes, but you can get a tomahawk really inexpensive, especially a little one, or a fairly decent throwing hawk. And we could talk, places to go. I will say, excuse me. There is a set of 3 sold by, or at least they used to be sold by Bud K. Absolutely do not buy. They are junk. They will break constantly. But a nice slip fit head axe, like the kind I have behind me. Let me see for just a second here if I can reach my little axe. Here we go. Yes, there's a picture for my family. My little mouse hawk here. Now, normally you want the slip joint, but I'm planning to do a lot of throwing with this, so I used some grip wrap tape to protect it. But I got this very cheaply at Bass Pro Shops. It's a little loose. I don't like that because, well, the wood probably adjusted, but this is a nice little mouse hawk, and it fits me very well. I have a larger one. Should be right here. Oh, yes. A larger throwing hawk. This would probably be much more comfortable for you. But you can get them cheap. Getting a hold of wood to make your targets is a little trickier than it used to be. Oh, thank you. We were talking about throwing axes, and I like throwing tomahawks if I'm doing axes. Although I've thrown everything from standard hatchets to double-bladed axes. It's just been a long time. I haven't really experimented with throwing things since I developed the neuropathy. That's when it's sort of a devil I have to face. But let's see. Boonk, boonk. You guys are having that's interesting. I need to get my Hanbo out and loose a few arrows. I'll just need to find somewhere to do it because our local range got taken down because of another dang baseball field. Good trade hawks are about 25 at Feast of the Hunter's Moon. Yeah, I got this one for something like that. I think I paid either 25 or 15 for this nice little mouse hawk. Actually, at Bass Pro Shops, I was visiting because I had actually gone to see my buddy Ben's funeral. Well, memory of life ceremony because it was after everything due to COVID, and I needed to go do something to cheer myself up. And I saw this little hatchet, this little tomahawk here, and I like the slip fit tomahawks because they are very nice for actual bushcraft. Because if you break the handle, you can just take a stick, use your knife, or in a pinch, you can actually use the head of the tomahawk like a push knife kind of scenario. Whittle down a good branch, and make another field expedite handle. That's why they were made that way. Brilliant design. Nice hat. Good to see you, Rian. Is it? I'm sorry. My brain. I saw Rian and your name, and I took it very a Japanese enunciation. So either Rian or Ryan, whichever way you like it pronounced. Let me know so I'm not being a complete yutz. But yes, and Foxy says don't forget to like before you go. John Miner says my Viking axes are about 35 each, and there are good axe trainers. And if axes are your thing, The Fighting Axe by Nick Tucker is available on Amazon if you want to learn the basics of how to make them go. If any of the guild gets down to Utah, we don't know why you would, but still, I'd love to show you around. There's some beautiful areas out here that only the locals know. I obviously, with gas prices being what they are right now, I'm not going a lot of places, but someday I might take you up on it. If I'm ever heading out west for my own nefarious purposes, I would find a way. Foxy says $35, pounds, inches. Can't be sure with you, John. So yeah, John, you're getting busted out. You're getting busted out. But wow, this has been the fastest show I've had in a long time. I mean, yes, I came in late, but I have a timer ticker over here. I do apologize for coming in a bit late, but I am both excited and I have to force myself to be calm and do the remaining things I have to do tomorrow, both on in my study and in my home to get things ready for practice. We'll see how things go. Oh, wait. We have a comment. And just for fun, I've started mixing up training sword and spear. No reason why I just started messing around with spear stuff since I got out of the hospital. Spear's great. You can definitely do seated spear drills. You can practice your pull cue strikes, your bayonet strikes, your C disengages. Pop, pop, pop. Set up the target. You can totally, from a chair, do spear drills. Nothing wrong with that. No worries. Sometimes life kicks things sideways. Well, it's appreciated. Foxy, $35. Could not handle 35 pounds, but 35 inches could be done. John could fight with 35-inch axes, no problem, because this is 36. He'd put a head on it and go for it. LOL, just making sure for clarity's sake. Maybe that's it. I've been reading your spear book and it's giving me ideas. Well, that's the idea. And what the spear book he's talking about is something called the Simple Spear, which is the third in my ongoing weapons manual series. That the in progress version is available to my Patreon members through a secret link. And it will be, once it's up, that will have to, we'll see. But it will be available through Amazon at a very friendly price. And once I get through this, because I had some contract work to do, then I have the list field and all the house prep and building to do for that. The next thing is I want to knuckle down and take some time where I'm not doing contracts, even though it's profitable, and I'm I'm finishing that book first. That's one's been on hold, and my wonderful Patreon members, and everybody gets access to everything. I have some tiers where I'll draw you a by the tier standings as they sit, a device basically of your own. You tell me a bit about yourself, and I'll design you one that you can. I mean, it's not official anywhere, but I'll design it for you. They're kind of like a coat of arms, but totally made up. The other things, there are other benefits, but I try to make sure that the people who pay all get in to see stuff. There are every once in a while I do Patreon exclusive videos. When I do a a pre-recorded video, they get to see it early, usually a month early. If not, then before it goes public, it may be a couple days if it's a very topical kind of thing. And as always, my Patreon members can always say, Nick, I need help with X, and I'm right there for it because they're what let me keep doing what I do, which is teach people how to sword fight basically for free. And I use it as a way to build their confidence, build physical strength, and it's my way to giving back to something that's given a lot to me. Poink. Heating pad is my friend. Heating pads are wonderful friends to have. Thesis says, maybe if I'm feeling brave, I will share my shifter story with you, Cindy, since you're both professional authors. I'm a novice amateur, and I want advice. Cindy is a much more professional author than I am, although I have a few humble publications out there and many more coming. Let's see, but I'll be happy to help. At Thesis, sure, I wouldn't be able to get into it till after 6:12. I'm buried just now. She has a lot on her plate, but I'm all about helping people. Let's see. We're past the... I dislike icing things on my body. I go from cold to holy crud, the pain, in a short bit of time. Right now, ice and elevation. Yeah, you guys, you have to do what you have to do. Follow your doctor's orders, folks, because that's what they're there for. I had this crazy idea that people who are actually experts in a field should be listened to. But that is not always popular in America. We like to make laws without knowing what we're governing or why. But let's see. I'm a pessimist with my own work, so to me it sucks. But others who have seen it, Foxy and Kitty, seem to think it's all right. Add ice with a towel. Okay. If you are going to... One thing, I just got done speaking with author and comic book creator Daphne Lange. I say her name wrong. My speech impediment. But of Ego Raven and a few other really neat titles. She's mostly anthro. But she uses the Grammarly program, apparently, to great effect as a sort of pre-editor. So that might not be a bad idea. I've tried towels. It doesn't help. I tend to get frostburn really, really easy. Well, Foxy, I believe that people do have a bit of a elemental tie sometimes. And some people really just aren't biologically meant to be cold. So you have to figure out what works for you and find a system that, sorry, guys, that really builds on that. It's like Cindy Kep has many, many allergies. The longer I know her, I think it's because, she's away from being Underhill, and human food doesn't sit so well with her elven demeanor. And that's okay. So find what works for you. Grammarly is good for finding rule-based glitches. Exactly. My problem is I tend to write a lot of fantasy and a lot of people with vernacular. So they may speak in dialogue in a fashion that is not proper English because they are not proper. And I tend to cause programs that have problems with that difficulty. But I've heard it. I'm passing that knowledge on. Proofreading is something I avoid if it's something too close to my field because I don't want to subconsciously borrow ideas. But I think, oh no, okay. I have no intention of publishing or anything. It's just fun for me. I don't see any stories like what I'm writing, so I'm doing it myself. If you are seeing stories, if you have stories and no one's writing them, then you have the obligation to try. I know that sounds terrible, But if you have an idea and you feel like, and you can't read it because nobody's writing something like that, publish it, because that means that you have found a niche that is not being tended to. And if you do it through something like Amazon, like I do, or several, it won't cost you anything. The only way it would cost you is if you do like I do and some others do, buy copies of the book to at author rates and then sell them directly. So don't hesitate. If it's good, and I say, maybe you should consider trying to publish it. Maybe you should consider trying to publish it, and then I will do my best to promote it, because that's how I work. Cindy Kemp says, to find other fluency issues, get Word to read it back to you. Another incredible tip for any writing, because I stutter when I write. And because I'm dyslexic and the words love to float around the page, many times I won't see my own errors. John Miner says salted pork and ale with sourdough bread. I'm not sure why he said salted pork with ale with sourdough bread. But you can keep the ale. I'll take some bacon and sourdough bread. I'm all about nerd bacon. That's what I told him, Nick. That sounds pretty good, John. Maybe not the ale, but never wouldn't know. No, wouldn't know. Never tried it. As far as I know, there are no stories of Asian werewolves, so I'm filling that void. Research it, and yeah, do it. It sounds interesting. It sounds interesting. Okay, so yes, please write a story. Here's a shocker: your first story may not be that good, but you're a better writer by the time you're done with the story than you were when you started it. It's sort of like the bane. An artist's work will never look really good to an artist, because once they've gone through it, they can only see the flaws. And apparently it's my fault. Good on you, Cindy, Foxy. Keep inspiring art and creation. Speaking of art and creation, please follow these amazing people. That's folks like Cindy Kemp. Follow Johnny Cage on Twitter. John Miner, when you're healed, when does Swakhammer Metals really kick into doing stuff? You don't even have a web page I can reference. Please, John, I beg of you, set up a web page so that I can send people to your stuff. Most of the Werewolf Shifters stories I've seen have European or Western characters. There's only one side character I know, and he's half Chinese. Well, then there is a gap in representation. And I have traveled among the edges of many a anthropomorphically inspired organization and individuals. And if you do well, they'll eat it up. That wasn't intentionally a pun, but it was a pun. And I never apologize for a pun. Well, I do sometimes, but I don't usually mean it. Now, folks, one hang up is sharing the one intimate scene and writing it was interesting. It is difficult to write intimate scenes. I have done that, and there are some things I've written that if I were to ever publish, because I work with the public and because it's my name everywhere, I would have to generate a pen name to do so. So I do understand the hesitation there. Never do anything don't do something that would make you uncomfortable in that sense. I'm not saying don't get out of your comfort zone. That's crucial, but don't do anything that's really. I'm so far out right now. I don't know when. That's okay, John. I mean, right now you're medicated and you're on leave, and you've always had a very tenuous situation. But I think as you heal, and especially since, and not to shout you out, but you got to be getting close to retirement, John. Start doing the groundwork now, my friend. It's getting real time that you start figuring out how you're going to take care of you and maintain the dreams you've been working to build. Because I've watched you build stuff and have it all fall down so many times to outside force. It's time. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys something. And Cindy Kip says, I don't write or read intimate scenes not found of romances other. I've written my fair share of them, have take it or leave it, unless it's there. Yeah, it doesn't serve the story. But this is a really weird thing, and I'm going to talk about briefly before we go. We set the list field. And for me, having a list field where I train people is literally a sacred space. Some people have likened it to walking into a church when I've had one running for a while. And it's made for some interesting conversations late at night around a fire. But this is the first time I've had to have physical assistance setting one up. Acknowledging my current limitations and realizing that to continue to serve, I have to delegate things and shift my priorities around has been a very interesting philosophical journey. And having a group like this, like you wonderful people in the chat that I can talk to, helps. Because, I know Foxy is hesitant to come on camera and, talk about things. And a lot of people are. It's something I encounter frequently. It's not easy for me. Like, for the videos I came on with my braces up to here, to come on camera. It's not easy for me to walk on camera talking about how to sword fight, knowing I am literally a short, fat, furry little man walking with a cane. I understand that. I understand what it's like to really doubt whether you have value because of limitation or appearance or all of the above and then some. We are very often treated that beauty, physical prowess, wealth are moral things. They're intrinsic values. And that isn't necessarily true. Especially, a specific defined version of something like beauty isn't. It's an appearance, and it's a valuable appearance, but to do what I do and to have value, because I'm on a ticking clock. I don't lie about it. I have neuropathy that's not going to go away. I am fighting to try to slow the process. That's not stopping it. There will come a day where I won't feel my feet and they may not work anymore. There will come a day where I won't feel my hands and they won't work anymore. And at that point, I will, for my own safety, have to stop. And I came very close to it. And I've been fighting very, very hard to be able to try to get to where I'm trying to get to actually tomorrow. And it's big, guys. It's a big deal. Because if I can get out there and do even just a little training and start that next step back up the ladder to where I feel I need to be, I can do more to be useful. And yeah, I don't know if she's talking to me or Thesis. We're both having different growing experiences. That's the thing, we all are, and that's important. And changing roles. I am changing into something else, something different. And I'm fighting to get the strength back. But, I mean, I've fought from the ground back up now 3-4 times in 20 years. I mean, from absolutely the ground of not being able to propel myself upright back up due to injuries and conditions. And each time I've gotten back up, but it's cost me. And I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying. And I think it's important that we do. And there will come a day where I'll have to sit down and go, no, I can't, guys. I can talk you through it, but I can't do it. And today, to set up the list field, I had to do that. I had to tell actually my wife and my brother that I hit tilt because I had to go back up to the store and do some more stuff. And it just took too much out of me. So we'll see. And I hope to I have pictures already from the building because I took a few after my part got done. And believe it or not, in about 12 hours from now, I will be back at the hardware store getting more parts to bring it back and have, basically not do much other than that. Be a mulch taxi. But I want to get it right. And I don't know if it'll be valued. There's always that fear. But I would rather try and fail than write off trying at all. That's just not how I roll. So we'll see. And I've gone an hour and a half. My voice is physically painful right now. So I'm going to say, guys, thank you so much, both for your tolerance. And I tried to give you a little extra because, I was running late. Oh, there's an axe and a sword. Fitting for what I'm about to do. But the historical fencing guild is brought to you by the Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, both available through Amazon, where you can learn a basic entry style into learning how to sword fight and learning how to operate an axe. Both we talk a little bit about throwing, a little bit about actual how to use an axe as intended, like the tool. This gives you multiple weapon styles, opponent analysis, how to set up your list field, how to build a curriculum to teach the basics to others. This was meant to be if I got hit by a bus, could my system still keep going and help people? That's what the Simple Sword is. The Simple Spear is coming, folks. If you like gaming, you can find the Big Stompy Robots line of games and books available also through Amazon. And Joe Bachman has set up some lovely apps for us that run parallel to that. And there's some great stuff. So look into that. If you want to help what I'm doing, like this video, share it, subscribe so you can meet every week, because I do this here usually very religiously at 8 o'clock on a Friday night. And you can also find me at 9 a.m. Thursday mornings on Nerd Bacon. And without revealing too much about something coming down the pipe, but you may find me on other mornings in another place very soon, where, me being me, helping out a friend. I hope I can be worthy for that potential task too. But we got some great stuff. Try bullet points. Look into something called the snowflake method. This is directed at thesis. Doesn't work for me, but it might be for others. It's hard to ask for help sometimes. Most of the time. All the time. Yeah. I am an oddly proud little man. I pride myself both on being rather smart and very useful. And recent events have eroded both of those in measure, and I'm recovering. But there are lessons there. Foxy says, pace yourself. Cindy says, you got this. This biggest problem is asking for help is usually my biggest problem. The lovely people here are helping me get through that, though. That's what we're about. Keep pushing forward till you can't move, can't no more. My family has a saying: "Keep as long as there's life, keep charging the enemy." There's a relentlessness in my genetic makeup. And though the charge may be slow and limping, I'm still once more into the breach, dear friends. Good to be seeing you again. Have fun tomorrow. Thanks for hosting the adventure. Absolutely, it is a great pleasure. I kick people's tushies when they don't ask. And I kick people's tushies when they don't ask. If I have to stop and ask for help, so do you guys. Yeah. Sorry if I missed something. My speakers died. Sorry, John. Yeah, just some wind up. Don't worry about it. Hope you find some new ones soon. I'd offer to send you some, but they are old and heavy. Yeah. Guys, I love how quick you all rise to help each other, and I love how I can be honest with you. I don't always have to be, "Hi, how you doing?" which is part of my internet persona. I pull on the Hawaiian shirt, dial up the smirk, and do what I can, because the world needs more light and more energy, and I put out what I got. But sometimes the candle gets a little short, and thank you for tolerating that. Good things are coming. I'm hoping to have more content real soon, both from practice, if I get anybody out who actually does practice, and with the cleaning and stuff, I can finally get some videos I've been intending to do. So I'm excited. But till I see you next time, folks, please do your drills. Keep your guard up. Be kind to yourself and each other. And always remember to support your local sword master. Good night, everybody.